Hi, and welcome back to the last day of Classical Coffee for October, as we're looking forward to the concert tomorrow and Sunday at Wickenden Chapel on the campus of Tabor Academy, our concert of concertos. And we really are coming full circle now. We started the week talking about the beginnings of the Concerto Grosso with Arcangelo Corelli. We've taken a trip through Brandenburg 5 with Johann Sebastian Bach. We've talked about Boccherini's great cello concerto. And now we come to the 20th century, 1920 to be exact, and the Pulcinella ballet score of Igor Stravinsky, which is a concerto grosso itself. And it really was Stravinsky's first use of the principles of neoclassicism. Neoclassicism in music was a trend between the world wars in which composers were kind of reacting against the excesses of late Romanticism, and especially of all the experimentalism of the first couple of decades of the 20th century. And it was looking back to earlier classical principles of order and clarity and balance in the form, and particularly in emotional restraint. And this is Stravinsky's first use of the neoclassical concept, and it is considered the Pulcinella suite, or the Pulcinella ballet, is considered to be the first example of neoclassicism in music. Now, I'm going to invite our concertmaster, Jesse Holstein, who is we talked with a couple of days ago in Brandenburg, to come in, and we're just going to talk about Pulcinella. And before I do that, I have one great quote, I think, from Stravinsky about the Pulcinella score and what it meant to him in his compositional process. He said, "Pulcinella was my discovery of the past, the epiphany through which the whole of my late work became possible. It was a backward look, of course, the first of many love affairs in that direction, but it was a look in the mirror as well." And I think that really is, when we're talking about Stravinsky, it really, the Pulcinella was sort of the fountain of new ideas and a new style in his music that really captured the attention of the world. To you, what is it about Pulcinella that, other than just the neoclassical concept, what is it that you really love about it?
Well, I mean, right from the get-go, I think the first movement, that tune, just sort of grabs you. Dum, da, da, ya, da, dum, da. And there's many other sort of hummable tunes in this, but he puts his own Stravinsky spin. It's not neoclassical, and it's a total return. You can still tell, oh, this is someone in the 20th century, a man of his time, that's sort of looking back. And also, obviously, it has a very prominent violin part that I've never had the opportunity to play, so I'm very excited about that. I've played in the ripieno section, but I've never done this, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Now, you mentioned the word concertmaster, and everyone knows you as the NBSO concertmaster, but I'm not sure that people really know exactly what the concertmaster does. Obviously, they see you stand up and tune the orchestra, but what's the role of the concertmaster?
Well, the concertmaster, I'd say, is the medium between the conductor and the orchestra. That's one of the things that I do, is I have to make sure that I'm in sync with you and then translate that as best as I can to the orchestra. I mean, the preparation begins well before the first rehearsal. I think it's a little different in that you really like to be very involved with creating the bowings. And so we'll speak over the phone a few times to make sure that the bowings line up with the phrasing. Right. And you ask for my green light about certain things, and sometimes I'm like, David. But for the most part, we're in sync about that, and we get the parts out. But and I also think it's my job to keep my ears wide open during the rehearsal and to listen for stylistic things. For example, in our last concert, the Mozart, I was much more interested in creating a blended sound that did not have necessarily the core that you would have in a Brahms symphony. So if I heard a particular section perhaps playing with too much core, it's my job to actually step in and say something. And also I have to do a lot of score study myself, particularly in the Mozart, there was so much between my section and the bassoon. And I wanted to make sure we were aware that we have so much stuff with Sebastian. And so it's, it's multifaceted. I guess I'm the diplomat between the conductor and the orchestra, and I have to use diplomacy sometimes, but also
Both ways. Sometimes.
Both, oh, absolutely, both ways. And sometimes orchestra members will come to me with a question or a concern or something they've noticed, and so yeah, it's a multifaceted role that I'm still learning about and still want to be better at, but I really enjoy it.
Now, on a program like this, do you have is it particularly challenging for you to step in and out of the role of soloist, then concertmaster, then soloist, then concertmaster?
I think this one actually will be a little bit easier. I can think of certain pieces where you're sitting there for many minutes and then suddenly you have to come in with a solo. That's difficult. I actually love the idea of starting with Bach Brandenburg 5, where you actually begin playing the ritornello, the da 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 da, and particularly you sort of ease in to playing the solo. But it can be difficult. I think with ironically, I actually think it's more difficult when I have to play the solo, in that I very often forget that my main goal as a concertmaster, I want to play chamber music, even as a soloist. And if I start thinking about my part and like, oh man, I got to nail this, or, then I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
But if I think of my part as a soloist, okay, how do I fit in with the flutes here? Or how do I, not only musically is that more satisfying, I don't get as nervous, and that's the kind of music making I want to do anyways.
Yeah. Well, we've covered the gamut of the concerto, and tomorrow and Saturday at Tabor Academy and Wickenden Chapel, you're going to hear a concert of concertos covering the range of what a concerto can be. And certainly Jesse and Paul have given us good insight. Terry with talking about the educational program that was based this time on the Brandenburg 5. So we hope to see you tomorrow or Sunday at the Concert of Concertos.